Hey, welcome to yet another edition of Dental Wealth Nation. I'm your host, Tim McNeely. So excited to have you today. And we help you build an amazing life of significance so you can take even better care of the people you love, support the causes you care about, and really change the world for the better. And I'm so excited that you're here today taking some time out. And if you're on live with us, post your questions. We'll be monitoring these. Happy to get back to you, answer any questions you have. And today is a really important topic for you to pay attention to. So if you're a dentalpreneur, a DSO owner, one day it's going to come time for you to sell that enterprise and for you to really take some of that equity that you've worked so hard to create off the table. And I want to talk to you today about the ins and the outs of earn outs. And first off, what's an earn out? Why does that matter? Well, let's just back up a little and look at what an earn out is and how that may impact you and selling your practice one day. But essentially, with an earnout, you're going to defer some of that purchase price and make receiving that purchase price dependent on the performance of your DSO or dental practice for a period of time after you sell it. And if your business hits or beats certain percentage performance targets, you're going to get the rest of your money. And you can potentially even earn even more from the sale than that initial price that you set, depending on the terms. And a buyer might use an earn out provision because it can protect them if the business doesn't perform as expected. But it can also help you because if you're right and your business does even better, you should be rewarded for it. So earnouts, very, very effective. So let's dive right in, and I want to share some statistics and some insights on earnouts with you and really get into the ins and outs of earnouts with you. You're gonna love this. Super excited. So earnouts, right? We covered what they are, how those work. It's really kind of holding back some of that purchase price. But like anything in life, it's not without risk and reward. And one of the things you really want to consider if you're looking at an earnout or doing some form of an earnout is that issue of control. So important to pay attention to, right? We find that a very significant percentage of business owners really don't pay attention to the focus of their earnout agreements and the impact that they could have. And in fact, when we look at this, when we study it, we find out that the attorneys, about 38% of you are not as focused as you should be on that control aspect when it comes to the earnout, right? Why is this so important? Because that earnout provision is going to contractually obligate you to remain with the business for a period of time after you sell. And if it's not a great environment, if it's not the place you want to be, you're probably not going to be too happy. And for that earnout to work really, really well, you want to be able to maintain control over your business, and especially those major business decisions that you feel are necessary and appropriate. If the buyer fully takes the reins from you and you give up all control, the business income and the earnout, well, that's going to be at the mercy of the new buyer's decision. So you really want to pay attention to that control piece. The next thing you want to consider are what are some of the legal protections, right? You absolutely want to pay attention to the legal aspects here. You want to remain in control over the business after you sell. And you're probably going to end up losing that legal control. And that's why you want to put some legal protections in place to really ensure that you can collect what you're owed. So these agreements, these protections, they can take a number of forms. Number one, it can be the ability to get an early payout if certain benchmarks are reached, or maybe it's even restricting certain actions of the business until after you've been paid. So for example, maybe there's a covenant or there's a part of the agreement that's not going to let that new business owner take a loan until you've been paid. And then the other thing you can look at is even escrowing money to make sure that the company can meet those earnout payment obligations to you. So you definitely want to have some legal protections. Then there's litigation concerns with earnouts, right? Earnouts, these can be very, very complicated for you, for the attorneys, for the buyers. And litigation involving earnouts, it can be very common in what I've seen in my experience. And this litigation, it can get expensive very, very fast. And what often happens is the buyer, they're going to have even deeper pockets than you have. And that's why they can use litigation to really, bludgeon you into submission. So you have to end up settling for less. And that's why it's really wise to consider adding a clause in an earnout agreement that deals with the cost of litigation. Now, once again, I'm not an attorney. I don't draft documents. I'm just sharing with you some of the things that I've seen happen and some of the things you may want to be aware of. So definitely pay attention to that, right? Consider adding some clauses in there that are going to deal with the cost of litigation. And such a clause, it may require the buyer to pay your legal fees if you're successful or vice versa. So litigation concerns. And then, you really want to address, some of the imputed interest. What's this? What does it mean? Well, let's dive in and I want to help make this really clear. But sellers, right? You as the seller are often unaware that a portion of each of your earnout payment is something called imputed interest, which is actually taxed at higher ordinary income rates instead of the lower capital gains rates. Now, this may all change. We're in a new administration. We've got changes coming, but right now they're taxed at higher income tax rates than the capital gains rates. And there's a number of ways that you can avoid paying higher than necessary tax bills, such as having the buyer pay that interest or even increasing the size of the earnout payments to compensate you. And what's really important here is you want to consider the cost of money and those earnout payments than just simply the net dollar to you, right? You want to look at what are you really getting after all things are taken into account, right? The optimal value from the sale of your company is really going to include what you put in your pocket that addresses that difference between the ordinary income, which is taxed at much higher rates, and the capital gains rates, which is taxed at much lower rates. And, so we've covered those issues of control and timing. We've talked about the legal protections that you may want to consider having in place. And the great news is I've got this all in a report for you. If you're considering an earnout, if you're looking at doing an earnout, we've got all this information right here. Be happy to send you a copy. Just comment below. Say, hey, I want a copy of the ins and outs of earnouts. And I will be more than happy to shoot this to you. Type it in the messages. Hey, send this to me. And I'll go ahead and get you a copy. But, at the end of the day, if you are a dentist, a business owner, you're going to have to find out the best way to unlock the equity in your business. And there's many, many options. Earnouts, they're just one of many of the different things out there. And earnouts, they are very, very complex. And, you should seek expert guidance if you're considering this, especially when negotiating the sale of your business. Without the knowledgeable navigator, you can become way too optimistic about that earnout and you may miss a massive payday. And I don't want that to happen to you, right? We want you to build that amazing life of significance so you can take care of the people you love, support the causes you care about, really change the world for the better. Once again, Tim McNeely, I'm in your corner. Now get out there and make it a great day.